He provides DIY guides on a huge range of topics, from laying block paving to building portable shelves. His no-nonsense, easy-to-follow style has seen him amass a huge following in a very short space of time. His aim is to inspire everyone to give it a go. It's YouTube's very own Stuart Matthews, also known as Proper DIY. So thank you so much, Stuart, for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Could you talk us through how you got into YouTube in the first place? Because you've not been doing it for very long, have you?
No, I haven't, no. A few years ago, I was living and working abroad, and I noticed that in the evening, I ended up watching a lot more YouTube than television. And I thought at that point, it might be quite nice to do the same. I decided to set up the channel as a trial for 1 year, and then at the end of the year, if no one's watching, put the camera down, just carry on with the jobs. And we're maybe a year and a half, just over a year and a half later, and it seems to have taken off. And I've now got a full-time job again.
Yeah,
So much for early retirement. Yeah.
But you're enjoying it?
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, you have to do what you love.
Where did you learn all of these DIY skills? Because it's very varied.
I think I started fairly young. My dad was a big DIYer. And obviously in the family, we didn't have the money to bring in decorators and builders and things like that. So if you wanted your bedroom decorator, go and buy some paint and decorate it. You just naturally sort of come through a system where if you want something doing, do it yourself. And the more you learn, the more confident you get and the bigger the projects get as well.
So where do you get your inspiration for your projects?
Most of the projects are things that I would normally be doing anyway. Then I intermix some tool reviews with some tips and tricks just to sort of spice things up a little bit. And then you've got the complete picture. What
videos do you think do the best for you, or what's been the most surprising?
My highest viewed video is how to straighten a fence post. In the back of my house I've got a nice big long fence that's all straight, and there was one fence post coming over, and I thought I'll knock out a quick sort of 9 or 10 minute video. I also realised in the intro I was actually talking to the fence post, which I do these strange things sometimes.
And this comment's like, I instantly subscribed just from that intro.
Really?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of other people did the same thing.
So out of all the projects you've done so far, which are you most proud of?
I think if I had to pick one, it would be a video that I did where I turned a cheap kettle barbecue into a barbecue cart. But because I don't need a barbecue cart all the time, I designed it so I could take off the tops and make it into different things. So 1 minute it can be barbecue, the next minute it can be like an outside drinks trolley, and a potting bench as well, all of which I've used this summer for those things.
What does your wife think about you starting a YouTube channel? Because obviously she's not been on there.
No, my wife has always been really supportive in everything that I've done. Even as I film the videos and I edit them as well, I do ask her advice. You do need that sort of support behind you, because it can be quite lonely. You can end up in a workshop on your own all week and then ending up in your office editing. So to have that sort of support and advice is really quite important.
So knowing what you know now about how your audience reacts to your YouTube videos, is there any advice that you would give them for starting out?
I think two things. First of all, you know, you need to start small. Don't think you can fit a bathroom or a kitchen on day one. So start with the smaller items. Gradually your skills will work up. And a big job, like putting in a bathroom, is just lots of little jobs added together. I think the other important thing is to, at some point you've actually got to start. You can't just watch YouTube videos and then you'll find out that, once again, it's practice. If you do that more often, then suddenly, before you know it, you'll be doing things that other people can't.
So what's your favourite tool so far?
I like power tools. I don't think I've got a favourite. I just like tools to do what they're designed to do. So anyone that's watching my channel will tell you that I don't use too many fancy tools. I just use the basic tools. But what's really handy is just to have like a miter saw that will give you an exact cut because it's set up properly, and it'll give it to you quicker and more accurate than you can do with hand tools. So just having half a dozen of those sort of tools dotted around the workshop, you've then covered 99% of anything you really want to do.
Because you recently reviewed the Evolution table saw, didn't you?
Yep.
So with your YouTube channel being really successful in a short space of time, have you thought about what you're going to do next, whether there's going to be any sidelines from it?
That's not in my mind at the moment because it takes me all week to do just proper DIY. Other people have asked that same question. However big it gets, I need to make sure that it's still aimed and focused on the average DIYer, because that's what it's all about. I think it's got a long way to go, to be honest with you. I feel as if I've just scraped the surface. Sometimes when I'm thinking about the next video, it's not quite as straightforward as that, but there is so much more to teach people. I'm just going to keep going, and I'm just going to aim at those sort of people and see where it goes.
Thanks so much for joining us, Stuart.
My pleasure.
And thank you for watching at home. And if you want to find out more about Stuart, you can click the link in the description, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.